Hey gang, your old pal Clay here, Mountain Music Exchange, and right now I have an American Vintage 1957 Stratocaster in black. So let's get into it. Alright gang, but before we start our deep dive here on this Stratocaster, what do I have in this case over here? Don't worry about it. Just kidding gang, it's our very first giveaway guitar. That's right, we are giving away a Gibson Les Paul Standard 50s in cherry sunburst with a gorgeous AA flame maple top. And all you have to do is grab some MME swag to enter. Check it out on the website at mountainmusicexchange.com. Every $5 spent on swag will get you one entry into the giveaway so you can win this guitar. We've got all new colors in. We've got a totally new array of swag entirely coming. We've got flannels coming, which I'm very excited about, as you've seen me plenty of times wear plaid, and we'll continue to do so, especially now. New shirts, we've got new hats, we've got key tags on the way. Check it all out at mountainmusicexchange.com. Pre-orders do qualify for the giveaway. So, without further ado, gang, let's get back to where we were. All right, gang, again, I have a 1957 American Vintage 2 Stratocaster here in just this really straightforward, gorgeous looking black finish here. Now, one thing I want to mention about this guitar, this is a used guitar and it's pretty much in mint condition, but I don't feel like I talk about our used guitars enough. We get in a ton of cool used gear here at Mountain Music Exchange. You can actually check out all of our new and used gear on the website, mountainmusicexchange.com. Check out that new arrival section, and you can check out all of our new and used gear that comes in daily. It is updated as we get the gear in, and anything that's in stock shows on the website. If it's not in stock, it's not there, meaning that if you see it, we have it. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, this guitar, right, is $17.99 is the used price on this one here. I know new, this is probably in the $2,400 range now. So for what you get here, at $17.99, I mean, you are in like American Pro pricing almost at this point, right? To get this nitro finished vintage spec guitar, and it is really, I mean, you get a maple neck, alder body, you do get pure 57 pickups, 3 of them here. Of course, you've got your volume tone. Now, there is one thing that may not be exactly historically accurate about this, and that is the 5-way switch. As some of you may know, and some of you may not, Fenders initially came with a 3-way switch, one for each pickup. Makes perfect sense, stands to reason. But guitar players were sort of finding this sweet spot in between, and some of them would even like shove a pick down here to hold the switch in place so they could still get these super stratty quack sounds out of positions like 1 and 2, and then in between positions 4, 2, and 3, for example, right? So now those have become positions 2 and 4. We all know kind of the story too, or maybe not, I don't know, that Fender eventually relented after enough feedback and made the 5-way switch standard. It did take a long time, but they did do it, and I'm glad they kept that here despite the sort of historical inaccuracy of it, right? Bone nut here, again, nitro finish. On this maple fingerboard, you have vintage tall frets here. You do have very cool Fender vintage style tuners here that sort of remind you of the Kluson tuners from the days of yore. You get the standard sort of traditional 6-screw, 6-saddle bridge here with tremolo, of course. And this one does come with, and of course new they come with as well, tweed G&G hardshell case. You can never ever go wrong with one of those. They are just cool. They ooze Fender vibe and mojo. I think this guitar is incredible. One thing I do like too about this, you know, we're used to seeing even on the standard series Strats, the 599 level Strats, Squires, etc., a 3-ply pick guard. But for the sake of accuracy, when you're talking historical significance, this one does have a 1-ply pick guard here, which I think actually looks really good against this black. There are times, especially like with a 52 Butterscotch Telly, right, that if you see another Butterscotch Telly and it's from a more modern line and it's got a 3-ply pick guard and you can see that white line, now I notice it and I can't unnotice it. And the first thing I think of is like, this doesn't look exactly right. You know, it still looks good, but not exactly right. And I think that's how I feel about this one ply pick guard on this Stratocaster as well. Really, really nice guitar all the way around. We're gonna hear it as well. You also get the serial number here on the bolt plate. You do get the skunk stripe, but one thing that is noticeably absent, if you're not in the know, there is no truss rod adjustment here. Why is that? Because in 1957, really through the 50s and 60s, and pretty much up until like the bullet truss rod era of the mid to late 60s on through the 70s, you got a truss adjustment in the neck, so you actually have to remove the neck, adjust the truss rod. Somebody has done a really good job of setting this up. And I say that because it takes a little extra effort, because you do have to remove the neck from the body, kind of. Maybe it's a little trial and error, or maybe you know exactly what you're doing. But it has a 7¼ inch radius fingerboard, and this has super low action, and it does not fret out, which I think is amazing. So just pretty cool stuff all the way around. But anyway, we do get in a lot of used gear here at Mountain Music Exchange. We do take trades. If any of you have seen any of our videos, sometimes we'll have the hashtag MME trades, right? So that's kind of where this comes from. This is sort of our thing. This is what we do. We really are, I would say, pretty darn good at it. We don't have like a set percentage. We don't have like, we're a pretty small store. So we don't have like a corporate, we'll give you X% for your guitar toward this guitar kind of thing, right? We work with you on multiple levels to sort of make everything come together and make trades work. We have a lot of really, really cool used gear and a lot of return customers because of that. And I think you should check that out. We are actually working on, at least as of the recording of this video, we may already be doing it by the time you watch this video. If you're from the future, we are working on a program to where we can sort of do long distance trading, right? And we do some long distance trading anyway, but we are working out something very specific for the website that we hope you will be able to enjoy, take advantage of, or just check us out. Either way, we appreciate you watching this video, and thank you so much. Don't forget to smash the like button and hit that subscribe and bell for notifications, etc., so on and so forth. Shameless like and subscribe plea complete. All right, so I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna plug this thing up. This thing plays incredible. I'm not typically a fan of 7¼ inch fingerboards. I'm typically a fan of a flatter fingerboard for lower action, but this one does have very low action, and it's very fun to play. So I'm gonna run this thing through a Line 6 Helix. We're gonna check it out. I'm gonna give you like a Fender clean style amp, and then I'm gonna give you like a Marshall, you know, grit dirt style amp, so you can kind of get a vibe for both. It has a very bright, jangly tone. I think that's gonna come through pretty well, and it is a very, very vintage sound. So I hope you guys enjoy. Without further ado, let's get to it. right, gang, this has been, is, and will forever be the 1957 American Vintage 2 Stratocaster. I really enjoyed playing this guitar. I really had a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. I hope it was in some way insightful, helpful. If it was, or heck, even if it wasn't, leave a comment below and let us know what you think and let us know what you want to see. But gang, that's gonna have us on this one. Don't forget to check us out on all our social medias, links in the description below. And don't forget, check out some MME swag for entries into our Les Paul giveaway. Gang, that's gonna have us on this one. I'm Clay, you rock, and wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, make it loud. See you, gang.